In this video, we'll talk about how to collect the content from the real-world site pages for our articles and products so that we can use them in the project for this course. So you may recall in the proposal, you should have submitted the list of articles and products that you wanted to include in your site. And so this is a good place to start, but it's also possible that as you get into this, you may find that some of the pieces don't work as well as you thought, and you may need to go find some other options to include. Let's start with the articles. So first of all, I have a separate content document here where I'm placing in the content that I'm harvesting from these pages. So you can see here an example of one of my articles where I have the title, the author, don't need to put by there, the publishing date, and then the actual content of the article. And as a reminder, per the course project requirements, we do not have to put every piece of content in from the article, but a substantive portion of it. And the suggestion there is the first 10 or so elements of the page. So I have a heading and then some paragraphs, another heading, some paragraphs, another heading, a subheading, and then at the end, wherever we sort of truncate the article, we're going to put a link to read the full article. Okay, so let's walk through that process with one of my other articles. Here I have this article called 8 Strategies for Getting the Most Out of an Online Course. So here is my title. Now as I copy and go over here and paste this in, if I just paste, it's going to actually paste with sort of the original formatting, which is going to be kind of a pain to work with later. So instead of just Command V pasting, I'm going to do Command Shift V, which pastes the content in sort of without any formatting. And then I'm going to come up here and use these tools to provide only the formatting I want. So I'm going to make this a heading 1. And it's also a good idea to flatten the casing so that we're not using forced uppercase. Okay, now I also need the author and the date here. So we have a date, February 4th, 2019, but there's no author. So we're just going to use the best guess that we can, something like Northeastern University graduate programs. All right, next I need to harvest out the image. And so this is where sometimes we'll find things are harder than we expect and we may need to choose a different option. But what we can usually do is right click on the image, and you should see options to open the image in a new tab and to save the image. First, let's open the image in a new tab and take a look at what we have. What we're looking for is an image that is starting out at a decently large size. And in fact, usually you can hover over the tab and it will eventually appear to show you the size of the image. So this is 1200 pixels by 800 pixels. And that should be plenty large enough for our site. I think we're going to be having images that are under 800 pixels wide. So this is going to be plenty big for us. Now, the other thing to think about is whether there's just good quality in the image in terms of the way that the subject is framed, well, this will matter a little bit more when we get to work with the products, in that some product images just don't really showcase the product, and we're also going to want to think about the sort of consistency between each of these. So in this case, I'd like to have content of the image kind of going all the way across the page like it is here, so that it looks really nice in the frame that we're going for. So this is a good image, so I'll just right click and choose Save Image As. And then I'm going to go place it. So I just have a desktop folder where I'm collecting all of my stuff for now. And so I'll just put this in a folder called Images or Articles. And so this will be, the online learning cover. Okay. In fact, maybe I'll start it a different way with all of these files starting with cover online learning. Okay. So if I use that convention, cover dash, then I'll easily be able to tell which of my images are the cover images for my articles. Okay, all right, very good. So I've saved that image. Now I just need to go get enough of the content out of the article to sort of convey what's interesting about the article. So I'll start down here where I actually have content, and I'm just going to click and drag to find enough. Let's see, let's go to about there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, it's perfect, 10 elements. So that's just right. So I'm going to copy this, and then again, I'm going to come over here and Command Shift Paste. You can see it brought it in without any of the formatting. So we're going to want to go through and just add back in only the formatting that we need. So that was my first paragraph. Then we had a heading down here. So if my article heading is an H1, then that next heading is probably going to be an H2. It doesn't matter particularly at this point, but the more we think through it now, the better off we'll be. Now these tips are, I would think, subheadings of this one, so I'm going to consider them to be H3s. And then these, of course, came in as paragraphs for the rest. So I'm just going to clean up a couple of the extra empty spaces there. Okay, last of all, there was a hyperlink here, so I'm going to right-click and choose Save, let's see, Copy Link Address, and then go to that same bit of text, Advantages to Online Courses, and just make sure that I've captured that same hyperlink here. Now, some of the articles you find may include hyperlinks that are just more than you need. So don't feel like you have to put every single article in. Often those are just, or every single hyperlink in. Often those are just contextual and helpful. But I leave it up to you. You know, make a good judgment about what's actually helpful to the article itself. Okay, so I have the title, the author, the date, and the content, and I have the image harvested. So that's just what we're looking for. So I'm going to repeat that for all of my other articles, and then I'll be good to go. Now let's talk about the products. Here you can see a sample product that I have collected, where I have the name of the product, the price of the product, a short description for the product, and then a link to buy now, which points to wherever on the web you can actually buy this product. Okay, so we're not actually looking to have a storefront on this site. We are just sort of promoting some things by what we're doing here. Okay, so let's talk through doing this for one of my other products. All right, here we have these slick Sony headphones. And so let's see, we need the name of the headphone. So this looks like a good thing to capture. It may be a little bit long. Once we put it into the website, we may do a little bit of editorial work to clean that up. But for now, we'll just paste that in. Okay, so now we need a price. And this price here is good enough, $33.49.99. Pricey, but worthwhile. All right, next we need a description, and we've got lots of content on this page. So this is definitely where you can make the decision you think best about what best describes the product, or even write a short description yourself. So I think I'll just grab this blurb right here, paste it in. Now notice that there was a little subtext right here, that 1, and that came in here with a 1, so I'm going to just delete that because we don't need that in our site. Okay, now of course we need the link to where we actually can buy the product. I suppose I forgot to mention that up with this article, that we need to put the read the full article there, so I'll go back and do that later when I do the other articles as well. So I'm pasting in for this one the buy now link for my product. And the last thing I need to do is actually collect an article image, or sorry, a product image. Now I think what I'd like to have in my site is a product image like this one, where the product is isolated on white. That's going to be ideal for getting what I'd like across with these products, and it's a good way to try to be consistent. So let's see if we can open this image in a new tab. Okay, so this one actually has a background on it, which may be, we may be able to work with that. So we're just gonna, and it's large enough, so we're gonna right click and save image as. And let's call this one image headphones. Or sorry, not image, product headphones. Okay, all right, so we'll repeat that process as well for each of our other aspects of content. So that we have everything collected. So every one of our products and every one of our articles. And of course, we want to make sure to put that read the full article link at the bottom there as well. All right, now that I have all of my articles and products loaded in here and neatly formatted, the last thing I need to do is write my about page. So recall that the about page should simply describe the topic and include any other details that you would like to include about your site. And with that, we can call it a day.